Welcome to the Profits and Pajamas podcast. I'm Danielle DeTeach, or Coach Danni D, and I help women entrepreneurs and professionals to achieve their personal success stories that include joy, fulfillment, and balance. This is where we talk about how to build your business in a way that allows you to work with ease, be successful, and enjoy your life. My happy place is spending as much time in my PJs as humanly possible. And I want to help other women find their happy space while running profitable businesses or having a successful career. So get comfortable and let's dig in. Hello and welcome to the Profits and Pajamas podcast. I am your host, Coach Danni D, always here helping you to figure out how to redefine your success beyond the grind, right? So, um, busy couple of weeks. I just got back from doing the Balloons and Colors um conference. So I taught a class there and we also did like a big balloon build. And so, it was just a nice experience that I had there. And the class I taught there was pricing, the psychology of pricing with confidence, right? So um, if you are a avid watcher, listener, you met, Tiffany McKinney. She is the queen of pricing. And so she wasn't able to be there, but she is, hitting it from a different perspective. I wanted to hit the confidence piece, right? Because that's um one of my pillars of workflow, right? So I had a great time there. And so I'm back home and, getting back into the swing of things here. And today, what I wanted to talk to you about, I did a little teaser about it on my social media earlier this week because this has just been weighing really, really heavy on me. I want to talk to you about protecting your peace, especially when it comes to outside forces or um, competition. And I'm using the word competition very loosely. But I want to talk to you about protecting your peace because there's this part of us that wants to prove a point, that wants to be validated, that wants to say, hey, I'm deserving, right? And this has nothing to do with your worth or if you're deserve that's not the point. That's really, really not the point. The point of the matter is you are allowing yourself to engage in your own psychological warfare because you are fighting with people who will never verbally or publicly acknowledge who you are. There are some people that are going to never do that. Like they're just never, no matter what you do, they're never going to acknowledge who you are. They just won't. They won't. And by you engaging with them, you are actually giving them airtime, both in your brain, but publicly, that they don't deserve. They absolutely do not deserve. And their whole entire mission is to take you down. And you are aiding and abetting them in the process by engaging with them. When I was younger, my grandmother used to always say, be careful of the company you keep because somebody could tear you down much faster than you could bring them up. And again, like many things that she said, as I get older, it makes more and more sense, right? But here's the thing, the time that you're spending entertaining that person, the time that you're spending responding to those situations, two things are happening. One, that's time and energy that you could be spending resting. That's time and energy that you could be spending working on you. That's time that you could be spending working towards your goals. So that's one part of it. The other part of it is that's time and energy that, that you are spending is like when you are responding, it makes you look like them. It makes it seem as though you and them are in the same arena, right? Like, think about it like this. You know that there are people who are, at the top of their game, right? Let's say, we're, having a conversation about who's the GOAT of whatever it is, right? Like, who's the, best chef, who's the best, ball player, who's the best whatever. They are not sitting here entertaining the person who they played street ball with when they were five. Like they're not that that's not coming up in the conversation because how silly does that sound? Like I'm professional, I am in this arena and you're like, "Oh yeah, but I beat you in a game when we were five." Like, okay. That's great. But it makes you look ridiculous, right? When you are entertaining that. But it also, again, it's psychological warfare with yourself because you are allowing your emotions to get tied into something that does not matter. I think one of the things that is, most difficult, especially as women, especially as Black women, we've spent so much of our lives proving our worth and being discredited. We could be at the top of our game and we still have to answer additional questions. We still have people, second guessing us. And because of that, we do tend to want to prove ourselves. I think that that's a part of why we are, the most educated, the most polished, the most, make sure that, you're covering your ass, make sure that you're not making any mistakes, make sure that everything is perfect. We've that's been ingrained in us, right? We need to let that go. We need to put that down because you know your worth. Those that you are assigned to, like whatever it is that you do, they know your worth, right? And that's pretty much that all that matters. And if I'm being 100%, the person that's discrediting you, they know your worth too. They probably know your worth better than you know your worth. They saw it before you saw it because that's why they had to go on attack because they don't want you to see your worth. But your worth is not tied to their approval. And praise God because they're never going to give it, even though they know what it is. So I'm challenging you today to take a deep breath and let it go. If you have to write it out, get it out your system, let it go. Get to the root of why it has a chokehold on you and realize that it is wasted energy and let it go. Sit and talk to your therapist if you need to, but let it go. Because that person's opinion, that person's slight, that person's attempt to destroy you, because that happens as well, right? Like, I'm not discrediting what that person may or may not have done in your life. But stop trying to win. Like sometimes we feel like we have to win an argument. And I had a lot of conversations this week about how it is that I handle certain situations and how is it that my temperament is the way it is. Because I don't have to win. I don't have to win. My goal is my goal, right? Whatever it is that my goal is, my mission is, whatever the point is, that's where my thoughts are locked. And so this little side quest or side argument, if it's not getting me to that goal, I don't care. So I don't have to win. You're right. Yeah, you're right. Okay. And I'm going to keep moving on. I don't feel obligated to have a seat at anybody else's table. I know what God designed me to do. And I know the level that He has prepared me to do it. It's not going to resonate with everybody. And again, understand that that's not necessarily because that person doesn't see your value. And if you push harder and if you do more, they're going to see it. They saw it from day one. They chose against it. And that is okay because it's not, you know, one monkey ain't going to stop a show. Continue to push forward with what you do and continue to move in the way that is beneficial to getting to your goals. And your goals should not be tied to anyone else's approval. Your goals should be solely based on what your life journey is set up for. So stop worrying about what it looks like to this one or that one, or this one might talk about you or that one might talk about you. Another thing that my grandmother used to say is they talked about Jesus Christ. So who are you? People gonna talk. People gonna talk. People gonna connive. People gonna backstab. That's their problem. That's their journey. That's a healing journey that they have to go through. But don't get into it with them. Release yourself. Protect your peace, protect your well-being, protect your nervous system, all of that. Sit in who you are and make sure that the only person that never questions your worth is you. You understand who you are. You understand who you're capable of, and let other people misunderstand. That's their choice. But it doesn't take away from your greatness. It doesn't take away from your shine. It doesn't take away from your ability to excel. It doesn't take away from your ability to attract the people that belong to you. But sometimes you are detracting people because while they're drawn to your light, they see you over here arguing. They see you over here carrying this spirit that is not for you. You carrying the spirit of other people's trauma. And because of that, people don't get to see the side of you that is truly you, that is truly the beautiful, excellent you. Stop dividing your attention. Focus on just being the best you that you can be and not for a prize, not for anything other than it feels good to be you. It feels good to do the things that are meant for you. It feels good to see yourself accomplish the things that bring you closer to your joy and your fulfillment. So I'm not going to continue to beat a dead horse, but I am going to implore you. Do whatever you need to do to release yourself from the clutches of other people. I know that I've had to do that in my own life years ago, just sit down and be like, you know what? I am not going to continue to be emotionally, mentally attached to someone else's trauma, drama, and if I'm being quite frank, bullshit. I'm not doing it. So I had to get myself in a place to say, you know what? I'm disconnecting, I'm cutting the cord. And some of those people are still adjacent to my life, right? They're not necessarily sitting in the front row, but they're adjacent to my life. But the emotional baggage and turmoil and everything else, it's not there anymore. I don't get nervous when I see their number come up. My stomach doesn't get in knots when I hear their name. It has no effect anymore because I am so confident in where I am and what I am doing. And, I didn't mean to bring it back here, but that does come back to the idea of confidence. And so a part of internal confidence is removing those intrusive thoughts that make you want to prove somebody else wrong. You have to be able to release it. When you're comfortable in you and your skin, another person's opinion of you does not matter. It really, really doesn't matter because you're on a journey to continue to be better and better at being you, and nobody can be you better than you. So it's not even about, oh, well, this other person does it. That other person does them. You do you. End of story. And that other person might still keep looking on your paper. There's no answers for you on theirs. Stop it. Just stop looking. Stop looking. And if that means disconnecting, sometimes that means disconnecting or leaving communities. Do it. Do it because it's not worth it. And some people will say, "Oh well, I don't have a beef or I don't have a this, so I can't disconnect." You can disconnect. If something is causing you turmoil, I have a rule. If every time a particular, page or person comes through my timeline, I start getting a little frowny, face, then that person, I need to disconnect because that person is not bringing me joy. They're not bringing me fulfillment. They're not bringing me growth. They're just bringing me frustration. And then it don't have to be deep. It don't even have to be that the person has done me anything or has said anything offensive. They just don't fit into my world. And that's okay. It's okay to leave spaces. Maybe you need to switch up your social media presence. Maybe you need to switch up who you talk to and how you talk to them. That is all okay. Protect your peace. All right. That's what I got for you. Work on it. Work on it. If you want to sit and deep dive into confidence and the why of that, you know where to find me. We can schedule a discovery call, a brainstorming session. You can join the next session of the Capable Confident You. All of that is an option to dig into it deeper. But I want you to work on that for me. All right, in the workflow universe. So I have on August 15th the book signing for I Don't Do It All and Neither Should You at Barnes and Noble in Metairie here in Louisiana. And September 11th through 14th is the Inflate Your Income conference that I do with Pauline and Sheila and Adrian. And I'm getting so excited as we get closer to that. So if you are in the balloon industry, events industry, really any business owner, we started it as a balloon thing because of the fact that that's how we all know each other. And we will have Adrienne there, the queen of foil designs. I mean, just classy, clean, and she can remix those foils in so many different ways. So we do have that as a hands-on portion as far as balloons, but we are about the business. We are about growth, and we are about action as well. So everything that we teach can be applied to other businesses as well. We're focused on, getting you that aha moment that opens your mind, but then also giving you actionable steps that you can go back and do something that actually moves the needle in your business, especially during these times in the economy. We got to make these businesses as solid as possible to make sure that we are staying afloat and that we are not only just staying afloat, but we are excelling in our businesses. So that is September 11th through the 14th. The following week, and I'm so sorry that I don't have the dates off the top of my head. The following week, I will be in Baton Rouge for Come Out and Play. So that's going to be hosted by my literary coach, Lanaina Kai, and she will be, doing she does this fun event where she has um people come out and play. Really, actually, that's just the best I can describe it. And so it's a great opportunity to meet some great authors and hang out and have a really good time ahead of the I think it's the Baton Rouge Book Festival. I'm gonna get y'all the information in the show notes. Please don't hold me to it. There's so many moving parts going on in my head, but so that is all coming up. And then stay on the lookout because in the next couple of weeks, I'm going to be making some announcements about the Redefining Success Beyond the Grind Summit for 2027. So we are actively working on that. And I don't want you to miss the early bird pricing on that. So I think that's all that's going on in my universe in this moment. But, if not, I'll share it with you next week or I'll put it in the show notes. Y'all have a blessed rest of your week, and I will see you next week. Thanks for listening to the Prophets in Pajamas podcast. I hope you got some great tips to start working with these. Want to stay connected? Follow me at Your Workflow on Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok. For more information about creating balance in your life, register for my upcoming calendar detox challenge at CoachDanniD.com. Don't forget to subscribe, join the community, and book a call to find the workflow program that best fits your needs.